Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and I'm here to do a review for Married at First Sight Season 4, Episodes 6, 7, and 8. Now, my last two videos have been 2 episodes in one, and I intended to do a video last Tuesday, but I gotten sick, and that was the beginning of my sickness. Along with the fact that I didn't like the fact that they were prolonging the whole Heather and Derek thing, so I didn't bother doing one last week. And right now my throat still isn't at 100, so, but I knew I hadn't done one in like a month, so I figured I might as well go ahead and knock it out. So I don't even know if I'm gonna edit this or not. I'm gonna go through everything that's happened pretty much in the past 3 episodes, not in great detail, and just get my basic points of view on it. So we can start off with Derek and Heather. Obviously there was no communication with them after the honeymoon. Things weren't going very well. She was obviously finished, I think it was written all over her face that she was just done. But they came back, and I wrote down that she was super turned off. Pretty much Derek did not want to give up on their marriage, and her face was saying everything opposed to that. So the pastor, got them together and wanted her to really think about it. And I remember her needing some time to really figure out if she wanted to stay married to him or not. And in a shocking twist, she decided that she no longer wanted to be married to him, that she wanted a divorce only 2 weeks into this experiment. So Derek, obviously, like I said, did not want a divorce. He wanted to give it a fair chance, as he kept saying, but she was over it. I think somewhere along the line, maybe somewhere in Puerto Rico, she realized that she was not gonna be into this guy. Period. I mean, she obviously wasn't really into him like that at the wedding, but maybe after his smoking stuff and after he put her in her place on that balcony, I guess she realized that was not the kind of person that she wanted to be with. And I would be willing to understand that after somebody puts you in your place and embarrasses you like that on national television, that you might not fall for that person the way you want to. And I think she had tapped out and she never was going to come back. I think after you kind of have given up, there's no really going back to it, especially if you don't really have anything invested in the other person, so it was no shock. But what I don't want to see for the rest of the season is them like checking up on them. Like, I don't care at this point. Stop showing us them. It is pointless for us to know what happened to them after they decided to, after she decided that she didn't want to be with him. But obviously that's what they're going to do. They're going to prolong. It made no sense the fact that they prolonged into 3 episodes whether or not they were going to be married, whether or not they're going to stay married. But I do not want to see the rest of the season them dealing with their emotions, because we don't see the other couple dealing with their emotions. This season sucks. Let me just be clear and say that. This season sucks. And the realization that Derek and Heather are no longer a couple anymore means that in this show now is going to be 50-50 Nick and Sonia and Team Too Much. I already don't like Team Too Much. I already dread seeing them on the TV. And now I know I'm guaranteed to see them at least maybe about 35, 40 minutes. Because for number 2, why is this show an hour and 15 minutes long? This show is not that entertaining to be an hour and 15 minutes long. It wasn't an hour and 15 minutes long last season, and last season was more entertaining than this. We do not want to, I'm speaking for all of us, we don't want to see an hour and 15 minutes of this crap. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Like, that is pissing me off how long this show is. I'm sorry, y'all. I just, the fact that I'm going to have to look at Team Too Much for that amount of time, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But speaking of Team Too Much, let's go on to them. Let's talk about the biggest letdown for me and the nail in the coffin on why this season sucked. We knew Busboy was just going to be the one thing that was going to keep this season like, yes, some drama. The fact that old buddy was living on Charter Bus Ridge. We just knew that when she found out with her high sedity self that, it was going to be sparks. It was a letdown. It was so anticlimactic. Yes, she was taken aback by the fact that he lived in a bus, but she was like, on anything for you, baby, or something like that. And she wasn't upset. She was not upset, and that upset me. Because I wanted her to be upset, because I'm so tired of the lovey-dovey, perfect, I'm tired of it. I wanted to see something, and I got nothing. I got nothing. It's like paying for a prostitute and you still don't have a happy ending. What's the point? What was the point of all that build up about the bus and nothing happened? So anyway, those two ended up getting the place together, and in this last episode, the place looked filthy. I don't know if it was just me or if it was my TV or maybe the camera, but they had a shot of the door, and that door looked filthy. In episode, what's this? Episode 6, I fell asleep on them. So I can't really tell you what was going on. Somebody asked about a post-nuptial agreement, but I put here in my notes, fell asleep, because that's what happened. And the episode after that, they had the whole issue of if she wants a family, he doesn't really want a family, and she needs to babysit somebody, and he was like, I ain't really down for doing that, but they babysat, and it was all good. But he was like, I don't really want a family or talk about planning a family with somebody that I've only known for 2 weeks, which makes perfect sense to me. Yes, I mean, I get it. You know, that is something that you need to talk about. And she was saying it could be a deal breaker. But, you know, again, it falls on the expert, because if he states at any point that he does not want a family, he's never wanted a family, and she says that she wants a family, and all of this extensive research and all of these background checks and everything that these experts have done to perfectly match all 9 of these couples, and 2 of them are the only ones that have survived, and you have one that tapped out at 2 weeks, but these experts are experts, that's going to be a problem. And I'm pretty sure it would be done for ratings, but I mean, I kind of feel like this needs to be the last season of the show. Let it be it. You know, sometimes you just got to know when to let stuff go. You got to know. And this season, this show, y'all need to wrap it up. After this, just cut it. Cut. Okay, back to what I'm talking about. So in this episode, she was a little dramatic because she has to have, well, that's not dramatic. It was dramatic because he woke up and she was gone, which made us think that something was wrong. But turns out that she was in a car accident and she has to have surgery on her shoulder. So, you know, I hope everything went well with that. You know, I'm not going to make jokes about that. But, you know, hopefully, I'm pretty sure he'll be there for her. You know, I almost said something really inappropriate, but I kept it to myself. But, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll be there for her. They met with the doctor on the last episode, and she gave them body paint. And when she gave them the body paint, the whole time I was just, like, dreading watching them do that. I mean, I already don't want to watch them anyway. And then the fact that you've given them body paint is just like, I kind of want to throw up, you know, at the thought of it. And, you know, they were painting each other, and it was like, and then, like, he licked her face at one point in this, and I'm like, what part of the game is this? Like, ew, I don't know what it is about them, y'all. It's something about them that just really, like, grinds my gears. I can't explain what it is. I cannot explain what it is. But I just don't like them. I just don't. So, oh, and I feel like I'm sounding stuffy too. So that was it with Team Too Much. Moving on to Nick and Sonia. They visited each other's place. Sonia is afraid of dogs, so that became an issue at one point or another. But he said that he would put the dogs in their crate while they were sleeping because he was sleeping with the dogs in the bed, and that was not going to work. Let me see what else I put in about her. They've been having a lot of, not issues, but they've been very slow in the physical department. They haven't had a lot of intimacy, like they haven't done it. And at the point of the most frequent episode, episode 8, they both want to do it to each other, but they just haven't. And I'm jumping ahead. Dogs, okay. They were having that conversation out on the hammock, and he said, I'm not in love with you, and she overreacted, which she clearly does a lot. Like, I mean, it wasn't a false statement, him saying that he was not in love with her, because she's not in love with him, but she overthinks and she overreacts and stuff, and it's like, calm down, Sonia. Jeez. So in this last episode, you know, they're trying to, you know, get to the point of being able to do it, you know, but those dogs are blocking. I mean, yeah, he put the dogs up in the crate, but the crate is right beside the bed. So, I mean, the dogs are like all of that, and he's like paying more attention to the dogs. Like, she ain't gonna be able to get none with them dogs in the room. He need to put that crate somewhere else. As far as where they're living, they moved into somewhere. I don't remember where they moved. I think they moved into a house. It's not important. They met up with the doctor as well, and the doctor sent them to this voodoo queen to help them with their intimacy stuff. And so the voodoo queen had them like sitting crisscross applesauce, Indian style, looking at each other, and they was like doing all these breathing exercises and stuff. So they was like, and he was saying he was getting warm inside, and I want to say, you know, I mean, you're not getting warm inside because of the exercise is working. You getting warm inside because your organs is moving a whole bunch because y'all doing that heavy, intense breathing. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that your loins is getting tingled or whatever. You just hot because your lungs are collapsing and expanding a whole bunch. That's what that's from. That ain't got nothing to do with no sexual tension. But the voodoo queen, she was just having them like do different stuff like that. Like she had them touch each other sensually. Like she said, now place your hand over her on her chest, and place your other hand on her stomach. Oh, how she was talking. She had a special mouth. She was like, place your hand on her chest, and place your other hand on her stomach. Ooh, that's nice. It's very intimate. Like I was waiting for her to say, and then take your hand and gently graze her breasts while you twiddle with her nipples. I was waiting for it to go there, you know, that would have made sense to me. But you know, us sitting in this voodoo queen's room, she's a massage therapist, but you know, ain't playing me. She does tarot card readings on the side. They sitting on that table covered in a cloth, and they breathing. I hope they breathed this thing either. They was breathing real hard. I hope they had brushed their teeth and didn't eat anything before they went up in there. And then she was like all up in their face too. Like it seemed real moist in that room. Like it just didn't seem like it was a comfortable place to be in. Like she had that little stone thing that you can get at Bed Bath and Beyond. You know, them fake deep people be having that glowing stone. They be like, oh, touch the stone for healing powers. You know, and all that other kind of stuff. But you know, I think their loins was tingling and stuff. And I'm pretty sure they did it after that thing. We'll find out next week whether they did it or not. I hope they did it because I'm tired of them talking about it. But that's all I got for y'all. You know, I'm about to say Love at First Sight. Ha! Lies. Married at First Sight. Season 4, episodes 6, 7, and 8. Y'all don't hold y'all breath for no more of these reviews. You know, think of it as a surprise. You know, if you look up and you see that I'm here, be happy about it. Otherwise, you know, hey, it is what it is. I mean, because if nothing exciting is happening on the show, I'm not reviewing it. And keep in mind, and I will say it again, and I don't care who doesn't like it. Team Too Much is getting half of the airtime now moving forward, and I'm not happy about it. Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Travis. Pray for me, stretch out the hands of faith as I go forward, and help me, you know, on my throat and everything, but only pray for me if you know Jesus. Don't be praying for me if you know somebody else. I ain't got time for that kind of stuff. And I'll be talking to y'all later. Peace.